EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight, it's the second of our Monday night doubleheader, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The second of two games tonight. It's the Browns and Steelers underway to wrap up week 2.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position. That's the 40-yard line. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Chubb on the counter. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
This defense for the Steelers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's second down and 1.
Cooper, the man in motion right.
They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. To throw is Watson. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's second down. Back to throw, Watson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks.
Throwing on third down, Watson.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And he is going to have the Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
So first and 10 now from the 30. They go up the middle with Chubb. Stiff-armed him. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That good for 19 and a first down. One of the tight ends comes in motion. Chubb will score. Touchdown, Cleveland. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Now Cade York for the extra point.
It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs.
At their own 19-yard line.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake.
Sliding out of the pocket.
He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The Steelers at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
George Pickens, the intended target.
And it's third down.
We look at this Browns defense.
They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field.
Here we go. It's Pickett on 4th down.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And that will force a turnover on downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A give running right is Chubb. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson.
Pass complete to Moore.
14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And he'll find Akins there, complete. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll make it second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
To throw on second is Watson. And this throw will be intercepted.
And the Steelers are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points are given away? It could cost them a ball game.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett.
Incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Back to throw, Pickett. Pass complete, George Pickens with it.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
They'll throw again with Pickett.
That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Here's Pickett.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Pickett and the Steelers in need of a big play here. 3rd and long after the sack.
They'll set up to throw. Steps away to his left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down.
Going for it on 4th down. Here's Pickett.
Man open is Robinson.
And he is going to have the Steelers first down. And they come up with a big one there to keep the drive moving and then some. Pickett, he'll look to throw it.
So this one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Pickett.
Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown. Deontay Johnson. His first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Steelers go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
Well, there you go, Charles, his first touchdown pass of the new season.
Well, let's just go back to his rookie year because he's able to get his feet wet, right? Get a little bit of experience. Now I think here in year 2, the game will slow down for him, and we'll see his true talents come out.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Anthony Schwartz going to bring it out.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The Browns drive about to get started.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again is Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
That's big Cameron Hayward adding another sack to his career total.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Pickett now on 1st down.
He finds his man Johnson. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Johnson moves the chain, something he did plenty in 2022, leading the Steelers in yards and catches, but also had the unfortunate distinction of having the most catches yards in the NFL without a touchdown last season. That should be rectified early and often this year.
Escaping the pressure right, and he'll just get rid of it.
I thought at first he'd try to run, but he just kept buying time to his right. Finally, nothing there. He wisely gets rid of it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Now Pickett. Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete.
And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 12-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves its sticks.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Pickett will look to throw it here.
This pass caught at the 4. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. Now the 3rd-year man, Najee Harris. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They give him
yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
2nd down, here's Pickett.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Flushed out right. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
Kenny Pickett.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking. Nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates. I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. The final shot before the break, Watson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA
likely going
Sports
through their final
halftime
adjustments
report.
for the second half. One of these teams is going to emerge 2-0. But who will it be? To find out, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Pickett back to throw. And that one complete downfield to Johnson.
yards that time. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And his throw here's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw completes a Freiermuth.
It's so close. He gets it to the one. Out of bounds right there. A big play that time on the catch and run. 36 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Looking to throw, Pickett.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Pickett right back to the air again.
Flush to his right. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown.
Najee Harris,
his second touchdown on the season.
And the Steelers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 3.
Chubb. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
50 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
Here's Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up.
Watson now to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted.
Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers will take over here just shy of the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Pickett.
That swung out wide to Harris.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
Return, 30 yards all in all. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
And the Browns 1st down.
Now it's Watson, a bootleg.
And just not enough on the throw there, down around his feet and incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Oh, fires this one downfield for Chubb.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw, Pickett. He's got this to Pickens. 27 yards there, a 1st down. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun. Pickett eluding the pressure right. And this is caught. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Allen Robinson, 37 yards.
And the Steelers are on their way to a 2-0 start. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that as they continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of one.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And now here's another interception. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick six will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no options. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense called, it will make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. A good game there on first down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now it's Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Marquise Goodwin, 50 yards.
And the Browns get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because He certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, fourth quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
Off play action. Pickett.
They'll roll him out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
Inside the 20. Touchdown. George Pickens. 73 yards. And the Steelers have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth.
Extra point now by Boswell. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call.
Trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
91 yards rushing now for Chubb, and a first down as well.
Defensively, you've got the nice lead here in the fourth quarter. You're saying, if they want to get a run of a little over 10 yards, that's okay.
I hear what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the football a bit more here.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And maybe Shane's in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again.
They run it again with Chubb. Pushes him over. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Pittsburgh, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.